Hi, welcome back to Everyday Behavior. So we've talked about database decision making, and we've talked about that problem-solving model. But there are a couple of different types of data that you're going to be evaluating in that team-based database decision making. And so I want to break out and talk about the main three types of data that you're going to be evaluating as you're having team meetings and as you're looking at data. One of the things that you want to be mindful of is your screening data. And so screening data, again, is that brief screening measure. Your screening data is just a snapshot of students to identify students that are meeting milestones and meeting benchmark objectives versus those students that are at risk. Again, like we talked about, it gives a student picture, a school-wide picture, a district-wide picture of what is happening. The next type of data that you're looking at is that student outcome data. So this is for your tiers 2 and 3. This is your progress monitoring data. This is your baseline data. This is your ongoing daily intervention data. And so this is what outcomes do we have for the students? And are they responding to the intervention at a fast enough rate to catch their peers and to make up the gap? Or do we need to intensify or change this intervention? Or do we need to fade out this intervention because our intervention has been sufficient? And so that's that individual data. But one other type of data that we briefly discussed is that implementation fidelity data. So there are a number of reasons that interventions might not be implemented as designed. We talked about that could be a resource concern, or we just didn't see some barriers that were there. It could be that we have a communication problem, or it could be that we have a training problem. And so when we're looking at implementation, it's important for teams to do a check-in to see, is our intervention that we recommended happening as regularly as we planned? Is it happening as we designed it or as we intended it to do? And is it happening frequently enough? And so that implementation data is important because we don't want to assume that a student is not making progress because we have the wrong intervention if the intervention is not being implemented as prescribed. And so think about this in terms of your doctor. So your doctor, if you go to your doctor, they kind of do a screening. Do you need an appointment? Yes, this person needs an appointment. When you come in, they diagnose the problem, and then they send you home with a plan. I want you to take this medication this many times a day for this many days, and then we're going to reevaluate, right? And so what you're doing is when you come back for that follow-up appointment, they're going to say, did you take the medication, right? Did you do it as I prescribed, or did you take it for a few days until you felt better and then you stopped and now you feel bad again? So they're really looking at, did you do what we planned as we planned it? And if you didn't, then that's part of the problem, right? But if you did, and we still have a problem, then we need to alter our medication. We need to alter our plan, right? And if it's not happening, it doesn't mean that whoever was supposed to do whatever was a bad person. It just means that there was a barrier that needs to be identified and addressed so that we can move forward with the original plan. What we have learned, or what research says, is school teams who use data to make decisions about student challenges are more effective and more efficient than teams who don't include all of these types of data in their process. So I hope that this identifies the different types of data that you will be evaluating as a team. And I hope that it helps you to know how to use that data and how to use that to further improve your outcomes with individual students or at the grade, classroom, district level. Thank you and have a great day. I encourage you to follow us on Facebook and to click the subscribe button below so that you receive additional resources and notifications when new materials are released. And you can also find additional resources on our website at everydaybehaviors.com. Thank you.